Everybody wants to know what form of advertising can they put money into that's going to make their phone ring off the hook. There's not one thing you could just start paying for and you're like, oh my God, this is crazy.
We are podcaster, brother.
Episode 3 of the Trade Up Podcast, where we interview business owners, blue-collar business owners, to try to promote blue-collar entrepreneurship. Today we have special guest Martin. Martin owns his own roofing company. He actually subcontracts for us all our concrete tile work. Martin installs it. So we figured we'd have him in and get to know him. What's up, Martin?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Good. How many years have you been in business?
Since like late 2019, kind of right before COVID hit.
Oh, so you're almost 4 years.
Yeah.
You're almost 4 years.
Yeah.
What did you do year one in sales?
Must have been between
It's
like
okay
600 and 800,000.
Between 6 and 8. That's a good first year.
Yeah.
What about year 2?
I honestly don't remember. A little over $1 million.
Year 3?
I think like a 1.5.
Yeah.
And then this one like a little over 2.5.
Nice. So this is probably your biggest jump from year 3 to year 4.
Yeah.
Why do you think so?
I think if you do something long enough, there's no way you don't improve every year if you're like working consistently.
But you improved the most from year 3 to 4 versus 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
You have nothing you could point to why?
I think just working even harder, man. Trying to find new ways to improve. I think when you're working smarter, it doesn't always just go linear. It starts to compound, and sometimes it just goes faster and faster and faster. You know.
All right, one thing I want to talk to you about, because we have very different businesses, like from the way I started and the way you started. How much of your work is subcontracted versus other roofing contractors, even general contractors, versus direct to homeowner?
I'd say this year we've done a lot less subbing, but probably might be between 30 and 50%.
Between 30 and 50?
Yes.
Sub versus GC?
Yes.
But this year you did the least.
Yeah, we did the least.
So in years past, what was that percentage like?
Oh, that could have been like 60 to 80%. Like maybe 60, like a good amount, man. Like
60 to 80.
Yeah.
In the beginning, was the end goal to be a roofer that only works for homeowners, or not even? You were fine being a subcontractor?
I definitely wanted to do my own jobs because the thing is, when you work for GCs, it's a tough grind, man. They really push you to low pricing, and they're constantly on you, and you don't really have full control of everything.
I mean, we really never subbed off anybody. Even GCs, like new construction, we don't do that much. Maybe 3% of everything I do in a year is for a contractor. But I don't think that being a subcontractor is a bad business. I think you can blow it up just as big, even if most of what you do is being a subcontractor, but they're definitely different.
Yeah.
But you think that you would rather do, if you could, all your own jobs, directly for homeowners, property managers. You would love that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, because you started as a subcontractor, you kind of build businesses in a different way if your target is only homeowners or your target is contractors.
Yeah.
When your target is contractors, you're focused on meeting new contractors, building relationships, keeping them happy so they continue to feed you jobs. You're not really worried about branding and getting the people in your market to know you and Google reviews and referrals from homeowners. You're not focused on all that stuff.
No.
You're focused on the contractor. So they're two different things.
Yeah, they actually are.
And do you feel like you didn't do any of the foundation work to grow a business that was like more homeowner focused?
Versus... I think you're very correct, man. When you're constantly just working for other people, they're giving you a bunch of jobs, you just kind of you ease off the gas on doing your own marketing, on trying to find your own customers, building your own type of brands, you know.
So now would you say you're like kind of not backtracking, but starting to like focus on that kind of stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely trying to start my like own retail business, trying to get my own jobs, my own customers, my own notoriety, like own brands, and really create something that is my own, right? Not just constantly working for other people, just being able to work for myself,
Yeah, because, I mean, if you show up on a new construction job, the contractor, he gives you the job. The contractor doesn't give a fuck if the trucks are wrapped or if the guys are wearing shirts.
No, exactly,
like, they don't care about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But to be known in your area, it takes years,
Yeah.
Like, year after year, it gets bigger and it grows, but if you're not focused on that kind of thing, customers aren't going to know who you are.
Yeah.
The other thing with you is, where is your like target location?
Yeah.
Like geography wise?
Yeah. So right now I prefer the Palm Beach Gardens area, right? There's a lot of we excel in like doing luxury houses. So there's a lot of luxury roof tile homes there, and we have a lot of clients there that we serve, and they're jobs that six-figure jobs, high paying jobs, and those are the ones we specialize in. I used to do a lot of jobs in Broward and Miami, but those areas can be pretty tough
But then you come up here and do tile jobs for me in Fort Pierce and Port St. Lucie, like way up north.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed that over the years that you're always super spread out. I was like, dude, I don't even know where you live. Where do you live?
I actually live in the Broward area.
Right, but your office is in Hope Sound.
Yeah.
So your office on Google is probably an hour and a half away from where you actually live.
Yeah.
So that just shows you're spread out.
Very, very spread out, yeah.
Right, and if you want to target Palm Beach, you want a Palm Beach address for your office. If you're going to keep it in Hope Sound, because Google matters when you're talking about homeowners.
Yeah.
They're Googling roofer near me. You're not going to show up in Palm Beach when people Google roofers.
No, you're not.
You're just not. No. So you either have to pay for that to show up, or the easier way, the way to build a brand in Palm Beach is to put your office in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
And then when you build your Google My Business and your address is in Palm Beach, when people in Palm Beach Google roofer near me, they're going to find you.
How much do you think that's actually like worth per month to have an address, in Palm Beach Gardens?
Well, what's in Hope Sound right now? Where your registered address? What is it?
As far as what, like?
Is it a real office or is it just some address?
So it's a UPS box store,
Right.
Yeah.
So just move it.
Yeah.
Right.
But so Google patched that. You can't do that anymore. Every time you try to do a new Google My Business, they're gonna tell you.
No. You don't do a Google My Business. Mm-hmm. You change your address with Google My Business. Get rid of the PO box in Hope Sound.
Yeah.
And get a legitimate one in Palm Beach Gardens, and then you just register the new address.
Oh, so what I'm saying is, to do that, you'd have to start like renting a building, right?
Or another mailbox.
Or another mailbox. So the thing is, you can't do that.
You can't rent another mailbox.
No. Google patched that. Yeah, I tried. You can't do that. Like I feel I was like part of the last little few that could use like a UPS box, but now you can't do that.
So you're grandfathered in on the UPS box.
Yeah.
Do you have employees?
Yeah.
Other than roofers?
Yeah, I have one office employee.
Where does she work? Home?
Oh yeah, works from home.
She works from her home.
Yes.
And where do you work? Home?
Work from home. Yeah.
So why don't you get a little office space?
So at what point, like how many millions a year do you think you should be doing before you finally get off? Like should someone who's making $1 million a year get a $2,000, $3,000 a month building, or is that too early? You think?
Well, I don't know anybody's margins, but like where do you want to go?
I want to be in Palm Beach County.
Yeah, but like I mean with your business, like don't you think at some point your business is going to need an office?
Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely will.
What about warehouse space? Like you don't store any material. Where do you store material?
So I have a yard. But it's not like anywhere close where we could continually like use it. You know, it doesn't have like an office in it.
I mean, dude, you could get something small, super small, with like a little 500 square foot office, and then like just a little, like bay door garage. Yeah. But I would just get one.
Yeah. Did you get yours? Like, on what year?
We started at that Port St. Lucie one. I think I did 2.2 million when.
Oh wow.
When we moved.
That's less than I would think. So at $2 million, you got.
Yeah, but it was nothing special, dude. It was a little shitty garage in Port St. Lucie.
But the rents there are kind of cheaper too, though, aren't they? They're like $800 a month. $1,000
yeah, but dude,
a month.
if you're serious about growing a brand and targeting Palm Beach, you need to be in Palm Beach.
The Google My Business has to be
100%, dude. If that's where you want to be, 100%.
Yeah.
Because then you're just gonna get calls from not paid advertising, just people Googling roofer near me.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like we get a ton of calls from that because we show up number one in like a pretty big radius, but it's the center of that radius is my address.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. That's how it works. But nobody in Palm Beach is ever gonna find you Googling roofer. Me neither. I'm nowhere near there.
You're nowhere near there?
Palm Beach?
Yeah.
As far as Google My Business goes, no.
So I see you do like a lot of jobs in Palm Beach.
Everything south is usually referrals. People see our trucks now a lot too, and then there's paid advertising, which I could target Jupiter and down that way with paid online advertising.
Yeah.
But most of our south stuff is referrals.
I know I was talking to you, and I call you all the time for advice and this and that, and I was always wondering when you were first starting, how did you really get most of your jobs? Like your first year, you get your license, and
dude, I didn't do shit my first year.
You didn't do shit?
I started in August, so 4 months I did 200,000, and that was like repairs and a couple roofs. And then my first full year I did 800,000. And the way I started was doing repairs by myself.
Yeah.
I did mostly repairs, and then like through people and referrals I got through repairs, I would get roofs here and there.
Yeah.
No advertising. I didn't have Google My Business. I had a Thumbtack account, that's it. You know what Thumbtack is?
Yeah, that's actually why I first saw your company.
Thumbtack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even use it anymore. The account's still out there, but I didn't do anything to earn jobs my first year.
Yeah.
I didn't really start paying for advertising until like the end of my second year. So I was only referrals from when I started till like the end of my second year. Only referrals.
So like that's the price. So you do like over 2 million just referrals.
100%, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah.
This is the difference between me and you. It's not a bad thing. It's just this is the difference.
Yeah.
I was on every single job for the entire time we did the job for those first 2 years. So as far as like the customer experience and my customer service, I was like amazing people. They became my biggest fan. They love me.
Yeah.
Just plain and simple. They were like, oh my God, this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
So when you give someone that amazing experience, they're going to tell all their friends about you. When it's just like a normal experience, you know, like maybe the communication is average, you know, maybe there's some project supervision, but probably not that much. It's just an average whatever. The people are going to forget who even did their roof 6 months from them, you know? I signed
quickly.
I signed a contract with some guy. He sent some guys. It went okay, and, you know, we paid him. That's it. But with me, it was like, you know, I was their best friend throughout the whole job. I was there till I would eat dinner with the guys at 7 o'clock at night on the jobs.
Yeah.
Because I was on the jobs nonstop, I was wowing people, and none of those people are ever gonna forget me. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then like if they ever hear someone talk like, "Oh, I need a roof," they like, "Oh, you gotta call this guy. You gotta call this guy." So I don't even think I was really competing with too many other contractors on most of the jobs I sold early on, because like I was on such a good referral, and then they met me and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're great. You got the job."
Yeah.
You know?
So like I guess like my experience with customers has been always like a little different. I guess like you become kind of like their best friend, right? For me, we do a good job, right? But there's minimal communication, I guess.
I know there's minimal communication with you, because there's been times where you'll send your guys to my jobs without telling me. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, you can't do that.
No, yeah, you're right.
I don't just show up at people's houses. I'd let them know what's going on. Like, hey, we're going to be here then, blah, blah, blah. And you did that to me a couple of times, and I had to call you. I'm like, dude, I don't do that.
No, yeah.
Because you do that to me, I know that you do that to homeowners.
Yeah.
But, dude, they don't like that. They want to be in the loop. They want to be contacted, but they don't want to be home thinking, like, well, what's going on? Yeah. You know, that they need to know what's going on.
I realize people just hate uncertainty. They hate it, you know, and if they don't know, like, when the hell is this guy coming back? What's going on with even if there's nothing changed in the permitting status, I know like now you gotta like let them know, you know, hey, we haven't forgotten about you. The permit is just in process, or we're just still waiting for the inspection to pass, or this and that. You know, you gotta call them before they call you.
When you start a job for a homeowner, who's there other than the crew?
So I recently started always having a site supervisor. That's just something we recently started.
Recently?
Yeah.
What about before that?
So before, nothing.
Nobody.
So we would show up when we like had to do inspections and this and that, but
other than that, nobody.
Yeah, nobody. No.
Exactly. There's nobody knocking on the door.
Yeah.
You know, hey, Mrs. Jones, how are you? You know, we collect the checks. They owe us a check when we start the job.
Yeah.
My guy knocks on the door. Hey, how are you? Yeah. They come out. They see him on the ground. They see that he's not a roof guy. He's the supervisor.
Yeah.
He's making sure that everything's protected. He's letting them know the process. He's knocking on the door like, hey, we're having to replace a lot of wood. There's a lot of wood rotted. Letting them know. Yeah. It's like night and day.
Yeah.
So as far as collecting referrals, like if the customer experience is iffy, it's just okay, you're not going to get referrals.
It's a big ordeal to get a roof. You know, they're giving you a 30, 40,
yeah,
50,
dude, and think
60,000.
about it. They're giving you all that money, and you just send a bunch of roofers up there. Nobody talks to them. They hop up there. They're making a mess. They can't ask anybody any questions. It's you know, that works for certain people. Yeah. But for a lot of people, they feel like, you know, you don't care. Yeah. You know. And
I guess that's because for a long time I just was a subcontractor. You know, they just whoever I'm working for, they just tell me when to go, where to go, and just you handle all of that.
I made a video about the difference between a guy who does a lot of new construction, a lot of sub work for GCs, versus a guy who specializes in residential roof replacements for homeowners. They're two different things. Like protecting the house, protecting the pool, communication, like they're two different things. Dude, showing up to a new construction job site and laying some tile is nothing. Nobody cares what you look like, what trucks you're in, if you make a mess, you're not going to break anything. It's two different things. You know, and then you've got the customer you got to make them feel comfortable. So you have a site supervisor now, though. And he's there all the time with the guys?
The tear-offs. So during the tear-off, they're all time, you know, the whole day, right?
That's how I run it, too.
Yeah, but like during the smaller parts of the job maybe not doesn't need so much site supervision.
Yeah.
But I just think when you're tearing off the old roof, you definitely need to have somebody there.
Yeah,
Because that's the most important part of the job, I think, honestly. If you do a horrible job during the tear off, they're just gonna question your authority and your like what you know for the rest of the job. They're just gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the job.
Yeah. We run it that way too, though. Like I have the site supervisor that is always with the tear off guys. That's his full-time job. He's with them on every job.
Yeah.
Then I have a project manager for the installs.
Mm-hmm.
But we always have like 3-4 installs going on at one time.
Yeah.
And he kind of bounces around. But like if you do a really good job and wow him on the tear off, the install goes smooth. It's not as messy. It's not as loud. It's cleaner. So it just goes smooth from there on out. Right. So that's going to be big for you if he does a good job, the supervisor.
No, he's an amazing guy actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy. He's very knowledgeable on roofing. Speaks English.
What are you paying him?
So I'm paying him like. Right now, I'm still deciding on what to pay him. I've actually started like with $25 an hour.
He's working today.
Yeah, he's working today. Actually,
and you're still deciding what to pay him, and he's already working.
Yeah. No, I've started him off obviously with an hourly rate, but like
25.
If he's gonna do good, it's gonna be like 30 an hour. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. How many hours a week is he working?
Right now, from Monday to Wednesday.
Is that because you only tear off Monday through Wednesday?
Just because that's the schedule that fits him the best and that fits me the best. I mean, we don't do tear offs every single day. There's times where. We're installing.
So what happens if you tear off on a Thursday or Friday?
I'll just have to schedule to make sure it's on a Monday to Wednesday.
Oh, so you're only going to tear off those 3 days?
I mean, he can make it there also Thursday if I really need him. Another big thing too is like you got to have someone there that's like speaking English, right? Because if the homeowner comes out and everyone's like no speaking English, it's just
100.
They don't like it,
1000%. Who sells the jobs?
I've just had a bunch of like salespeople. Right, but I've never actually sold myself, which is something I'm trying to work on right now as we speak. I'm trying to learn how to be able to sell to customers.
So what do you mean you have a bunch of salespeople?
So like for example, one of my sales guys is someone who's had a lot of experience in the construction industry, but he's right now in the process of trying to be a firefighter, right? Mm-hmm. So for him, it's just something he just kind of does on the side. But he's a person that's very well connected though, right? You would think, how do you do it part time and bring in work? The guy's like sold like 500,000 jobs for me this year. Like I think 400 to 500,000 this year. Just because there's certain people that have big networks that know a lot of people that.
And he only gives roofing jobs to you.
Yes.
Okay. When the job's going on, does that guy have communication with the homeowner?
Oh yeah, he's absolutely on top because a lot of these times he's like bringing in people that he knows. Like that.
So you don't even really talk to the homeowners.
So a lot of times I don't even talk to the homeowners.
Yeah, they don't even know who you are.
No, because I guess I have very little experience in actually selling. So a lot of my jobs I'm selling, I do keep in contact with my customers though, but they're not like the big luxurious houses. I'm starting out with my selling small little ones, and I keep them informed and this and that. But they're not like on my big jobs, like on my big $80,000 jobs. They're not. I'm not really talking with the homeowner unless they absolutely want to talk to me. But usually they don't.
Speak to the owner because something happened.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think that you have to talk to every single homeowner.
Yeah.
Like that's how I started, but I don't think you have to.
Yeah.
I don't now. A lot of homeowners don't know who I am, maybe from my videos.
What percent of them do you like talk to?
Usually only ones I sell. Or like I have a new sales guy, Rick. If something gets like technical with a homeowner or he's got to get updated on something going on, something like maybe I'll just call him and let him know like, hey, I'm Andy, I'm the owner, just letting you know my guys are there and this and this and this. It's this. I mean, someone else has to sell jobs for you, right? You got the firefighter guy.
I got another guy who's just also well connected in the construction industry. He's like a private guy, but he sells for me too.
How do you manage that they're both taking care of their customers? If you're not the one talking to them, like giving them updates on what's going on, when's the permit coming, okay, you're dried in, the tile should be here then. Like, you just trust that they're going to do all that stuff?
They're always buzzing me, like, every day, because they're actually very on top of their customers. That's something they're very, like, actually good at. They're calling me every day, 7 a.m., 6:30 a.m., like, yo, what's gonna happen today? What's going on with the customer today? I let them know everything that's going on. They're calling me throughout the day, asking about the job, and I keep them informed,
The jobs that you're starting to, like, take a crack at sales with.
Mm-hmm.
Where are those leads coming from?
Online referrals, like customers. You know, I've sold, like, over the past 4 years, I've sold, you know, a good amount of jobs. Eventually those people start coming back to you and saying, hey, my mom needs a roof, my sister needs a roof, my daughter needs a roof.
So if you get a lead, you're not giving it to one of these guys, you're taking it?
I used to give it to them, but now I just recently started trying to sell myself, you know.
How's it going?
It's going all right. I think it's going pretty good. You know, I'm starting to like the grind. It's something I'm starting to really like, you know. Follow-up calls, you know, having a system in place and then following it and trying to sell, you know?
Yeah, because you're in your 4th year.
Yeah.
You've built your whole business on relationships.
Exactly. Yeah.
Relationships with contractors, relationships with salespeople, because those salespeople are, for the most part, bringing their own jobs.
Yes.
Right? So your whole business is based on relationships rather than things coming into the business.
Yeah.
Like if you look at my business, all my salespeople are in-house. We provide our salespeople with their appointments. Obviously, they'll get their own referrals, and the longer they've been in roofing, they'll get their own referrals. So, obviously, they get some. But we get leads to the office. We're giving them the salespeople.
Yeah.
And then the customers, they just come to us. New customers come to us. So everything is coming like into the business because I built a local branded company that, you know, most people that live around here have seen us and know of us at this point.
Yeah.
So that's how you build a business that you're only doing 100% of your own jobs.
Yeah.
At this point, wish I had more contractor relationships, because I never focused on that. I installed tile when I first started as a sub for Peterson Dean. Yeah, not for long, because I was shingling new construction with them as I was studying to get the license. I was their employee just doing new construction. And then I got the license, they turned me into a sub, and then they had me installing tile. I did like 4 houses, and then I never subbed off anybody
Did you make money? Did you do good, or?
No, not really. We were slow. Dude, I told him, I was like, I've never installed tile before. He's like, yeah, but we need to get these houses done. We can't find anybody. Like, can you do it? And they paid me some absurd amount. I forget what they were paying me. And I still didn't make money because we were so slow. You can't just install tile as a sub. And that kind of put a bad taste in my mouth for like new construction, builders, contractors. So like we have a few that give us work, but I really have none that just feed me steady work.
Yeah.
None. But I built, you know, a local brand to where we get leads now, you know? And like I said, I built it all on referrals for like, you know, 2 years at least. It might have been longer. And I don't even think I'm that good at marketing. I'm like just now getting...
You don't think you're good at marketing?
I'm good at like the company image is strong. The social media content is strong, but that's new. I just started all that. We do some mailers, like magazine mailers that definitely get us leads.
Yeah.
I'm messing around with Facebook advertising now, and it's getting good. I realize you have to be good at it. Like I had thrown Facebook ads out in the past and never really got any real results from it. But now I'm like really learning it and paying attention to like the data that's coming back. And like now I have a video that's crushing right now. There's like 100,000 views on it for not that much money. Like $250. I've had 100,000 people see it. And now I know how to retarget that 100,000 people with new ads. So now I can just take the 100,000 people that saw the first ad and just throw ad after ad after ad to those same 100,000 people, and now they're going to be like, well, I pop up on their phone every day. Yeah. So now they definitely know who I am. That's 100,000 people in my little area.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. Almost everybody in like Martin County, isn't it?
I know. Facebook tells me on the stats on that ad, like this is a super high performing ad. It's like performing better than 99% of your competitors. So like for some reason that video just crushed.
So you say you're not good at marketing, and you.
I'm getting there though. Like in the past 4 months, I started to focus on it. Yeah. But like I got to, you know. We're going to do just under 11 million this year. I got to that without being that good at marketing. Yeah. With only being good at dealing with the customers. You know what I mean? That was the number one reason I doubled every year. Yeah. Was we were really good with the customers. So referrals were up. Like still 44% of my leads are referrals.
So you say you started like 4 months ago, right? So like how do you just like learn that, right? Is there something you're like watching? Is there a course you're taking? Some like books you've read, or like how do you just learn how to do that, or is it just
marketing?
Yeah.
YouTube.
YouTube.
I've learned everything in my business off of YouTube.
Everything.
Everything off of YouTube.
Oh, okay. Like no courses you ever took, no books you've ever read that like made a difference. It's just all YouTube.
I bought 2 courses in my entire life. Yeah. One was an Airbnb rental course,
Okay. Yeah.
Because I was sometimes you get distracted. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, these guys are making all this money with Airbnb.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'll do that, which is a bad idea.
Yeah.
I always come back to just do more roofing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like I get distracted for a little bit. So I bought an Airbnb rental course because I was following this guy on YouTube, watching his free videos. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy the course.
Yeah.
Bought the course, was mad I bought it because the free videos on YouTube taught me everything the course did. There was no secrets in the course.
Yeah, it was everything.
Dimitri, I bought his course.
Yeah.
Same thing. I'm like, dude, I fucking learned all this stuff on YouTube for free. Like the course was like, it didn't feel like, I'm sorry, Dimitri, for saying this. You're my buddy, but I felt like I already learned all the stuff on YouTube. So then I realized that like, I think most people's courses are not worth it. Because
Was there a lot of money? Was there a lot of money?
No,
or?
not crazy. Not crazy. But I just feel like you can learn everything off the free videos on YouTube. Because anyone who's a YouTuber has to give out all the secrets pretty much for free because that's what's going to drive their views up. They can't just give like bullshit information and like hold stuff back and still grow their following. The way you grow your following is you put out really good content. And the way you put out really good content is to tell all the secrets and actually teach people. But then you say you have this you know, all this secret information over here. And like to be fair, Dimitri had like a lot of videos that never got posted in YouTube on there and all that kind of stuff. But as far as like taking things I could learn and putting them into my business, I feel like it's all there for free on YouTube already.
Wow, I think that's pretty big. Like how many million you're gonna do this year?
I think Christmas is gonna mess me up because we're shutting down from the 22nd to New Year's, so I'm losing that whole little over a week. So we would have done 11, but I think we're gonna be just shy.
Okay, so I feel like that's pretty big because you're saying you could get to like 11 million for free. Like everything is online for free
Like
to get to that point.
the knowledge,
Yeah,
dude. I feel like you can get to 100 with just YouTube and
really,
doing
million,
it.
Just off of YouTube.
Dude,
And
anything I've ever learned in business, I learned off a YouTube video.
wow. Yeah.
But like here's a good example. I'll use this as an example. But I mean everything: marketing, insurance restoration. Do you deal with insurance or not really?
I've tried it a couple times. You know, a little salty about it, but
It's a game. There's
Yeah.
a lot to know about insurance restoration. It's a whole process. Like meet the adjuster. How does the adjuster do his inspections? Okay, adjuster denies the claim. Is it denied or can you call for a reinspection?
yeah,
You know, like what's that process like? Okay, they approve the estimate. The insurance company sends us their estimate with how much they say the roof's going to be worth. You've got to look at their estimate line item by line item and pick out what they missed, what the problem is, and then like how to try to get that out of them. Supplementing at the end. Like it's a whole separate game, which I didn't know anything about it. And I followed this guy on YouTube. His name was Chad Michael. A lot of people know him. And he's like I'm gonna call him a nerdy guy, but he's kind of like a nerdy guy. Like he's his mind, he's super smart.
Yeah.
And like he has all these videos, and they're just like him talking to 8 people in a conference room on how to do it.
Yeah.
And I watched nothing but Chad Michael videos for 2 months. And then at the end of that 2 months, I was like, all right, I feel like I got this shit. And I paid for some like scammy call center leads. I paid him. I forget what I paid him. But I paid these people, and what they did is they cold called homeowners in my area that had like hail or high wind in the last whatever.
yeah.
And I paid them money, and they sent me insurance leads, and I went and started meeting random people from these leads and started filing claims for people. And then I started meeting adjusters, and then I started getting the estimates and dealing with it. And then like I kept watching videos, and like, you know, I'd fuck it up, I'd learn something, and then just like that. And now I feel like I'm pretty good at insurance.
So how many jobs do you do from insurance? Is it like a big part?
Not
of
that
what
much.
you do,
Probably like 10 or 15%. We don't knock doors. We don't like seek out to file insurance claims.
Yeah.
But if we're on your roof doing a repair, we're looking for damage. If we're on your roof doing an inspection for a replacement, we're looking for damage. Because if you call me ready to pay for a roof and then I tell you can get a free one, you're gonna be happy.
Yeah.
But we don't door knock. We're not seeking.
I hate that.
But YouTube.
Like, who are the biggest YouTubers
For me,
you watch?
I don't really watch roofing YouTube stuff anymore. Now I watch like Alex Hormozy. Patrick Bet-David's old stuff on entrepreneurship was really good. Now he's like in the, do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Now he's into like the media game, but I used to watch him all the time. But coming up, Eric Reno, you know him?
That name sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
That's an old name.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know him.
He's
a roofer,
He's
right?
a dude from Michigan. Yeah, he's a roofer.
Yeah,
He's the first YouTuber I actually followed. Like, when I first got into watching YouTube, it was Eric Reno. And then Dimitri. And Dimitri gave me a lot of good shit coming up. Like, Dimitri's the reason I switched the name of my company. I rebranded. I picked the cool colors.
Yeah.
Like, that all came from him. There's a lot of other stuff that came from him that I'm probably not even thinking of right now.
Yeah.
But early on, I only watched roofing stuff.
Yeah.
Then I kind of transitioned to just like larger business stuff as a whole. But dude, YouTube. Everything was YouTube. Yeah, I'm not like a big book reader. I've listened to a few audiobooks. The E-Myth was the biggest one. That one kind of changed the way I viewed my whole business. But I'm a YouTube guy. I like watching YouTube. I come home at night when day's over, I watch YouTube.
I like just the whole night you're just watching YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, I get home late, but after work, I work out, and I eat dinner, and then there's like, 30 minutes or an hour where I just watch YouTube.
And I wanted to actually ask you, too. I met your salespeople, and I know one of them's your, like, close friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your other two, how did you find them? Were they, like, in the roofing industry, or did you just find them off the...
Matt's been with me. He was my childhood friend. He came on as a number 2 guy, so I don't even pay him a commission on his sales. He's just, like, my number 2. Early on, he did, like, a lot of other things other than sales. It was just me and him.
Yeah.
Now he just does a lot of sales, but there's other things he does, too. So he's not a commission salesperson.
Yeah.
He runs appointments and sells, but he's no commission.
Yeah.
Monica was the first commission salesperson I hired, and that was in year 4. So I didn't pay a sales commission until year 4.
What year are you on now?
5.
5. Okay, so like
right.
a year she's been
So
here.
like I didn't have to pay sales commissions in the beginning, which is important for me. But Monica, I found through my gutter guy. She was in a bad situation with a roofer, and my gutter guy was like, "Dude, I'm telling you, she's just like you. She's on the jobs. Customers love her. She's on top of it."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Just meet us for lunch." So I met her for lunch, and she came on. My newest salesperson, Rick. He was selling shoes at Saks Fifth Avenue. Never done a single construction job. Didn't know anything about roofing. Completely blank slate. I brought him in. I gave him $1,000 a week while he learned. We trained him for about 2 months before he ran an appointment. So he was just shadowing us. He's in the office. I'm just teaching him.
Mm-hmm.
Then we started to give him appointments, and I still gave him the guaranteed $1,000 a week. And I said, when you're ready, we'll switch to commission, and I'll cut your guaranteed salary. And he recently just switched. He just sold a big one yesterday. He's starting to sell.
So he was from, you said Saks and Fifth?
Saks Fifth Avenue. That's just that high-end retail store. He's selling shoes.
It's funny you say that because I was actually like thinking about that recently because I went to the mall, right? And I saw those like mall kiosk people. And I just see like how much they're hustling, right? And I just think to myself, what's the commission you get on that type of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like maybe $5-10 a sale. And I just think back to like sometimes my own attitude towards certain roofs, or sometimes the salespeople I have certain attitude towards smaller roofs. They're like, man, I don't want to sell this. This is only like gonna be like $1,000 commission, right? But then you have people who are working at a mall kiosk, and they're out hustling people who are gonna get $1,000 commission.
Yeah.
Right? And all they're gonna get is what, like $10-20.
Well, both your salespeople are part-time.
Mm-hmm.
They don't work for you every day.
Yeah.
It's like a little side gig.
Yeah.
So that's why they view it that way.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us view like getting rich off one roof, like how much we're going to make off one roof.
Yeah.
One roof doesn't get anybody rich. I don't care if it's a $7 million roof.
Yeah.
You can't just retire the rest of your life because you did one big job.
No, absolutely not.
It's the same thing with sales commissions.
Yeah.
You make money as a salesperson by consistently selling jobs every week.
Yeah.
I look at the profit and loss per job when the job's complete on every job, but I'm never like, oh, I made 30 grand on this one.
Yeah.
Like, never. Because it doesn't matter. You have to keep going. The business, see, you're looking at the big numbers as a whole. It's the same thing with a salesperson.
Yeah.
You don't make $1 million a year as commission as a salesperson by like one job. It's consistently selling jobs.
It's a bunch of jobs coming to work every day, hustling and working hard.
They're running appointments every day. They're in the office typing estimates, doing their thing every single day. So like, nobody's like, I'm not selling this one. It's too small.
Yeah.
They all add up.
I mean, 2024, like, that's the mentality I'm going in. I can't get out hustled by the guy who's working at a mall kiosk. I have to like consistently try on every single roof, follow up, no matter what the size, no matter if it's even just a repair. I just gotta keep.
Do you have a CRM?
Do I have it? No, I don't have a CRM. We have like a little Excel system that for scheduling our jobs and knowing who our customers are.
Dude, get a CRM.
Which one do you use?
Job Nimbus. It doesn't matter which one you get. Just get one.
Yeah.
They're not expensive.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you get one?
Well, how much do they charge?
I don't even know what they charge me, to be honest. It's not more than $1,000. I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's not a lot, and you'd have 2 users right now. It would be cheap.
Job. So what does it do exactly?
It does everything, dude.
Like, what do you mean? Like what?
It stores all your contacts.
Yeah.
It has everybody's calendar in it.
Mm-hmm.
You can assign tasks to your employees. You can assign your schedule appointments. They would be on your calendar.
Mm.
Every contact has their own profile in your system. So Mrs. Jones, you click her customer name, and you have all Mrs. Jones' information, whatever you want to keep.
Yeah.
Address, phone number, what type of roof does she have now? What type of roofs does she want quoted?
Yeah.
Does she have skylights? What's her gate code? Like literally everything, whatever you want to put there. And then she'll have documents under her name. So maybe when you start doing the job, all her permit documents are saved under her name.
Yeah.
All your supplier invoices are saved under her name.
Mm-hmm.
All your estimates. I create my estimates in Job Nimbus, and you're able to build smart estimates so that my office girl that does the estimates, all she has to do is pull out the Eagle View, type in my CRM, how many feet of eave, how many feet of rake, how many feet of valley, how many feet of ridge. That's it. Just copy the info from the Eagle View and type it in there and hit enter. What kind of roof are we quoting? Hit enter, and it quotes it.
Yeah. It's like a really easy interface for like anybody to use.
Yeah, and then the estimates, once they're approved, they get changed into material orders, and then they get sent right to the supplier from the CRM. Dude, you need one.
I probably definitely.
You need one.
I use a bunch of different. I use like Google Excel, Google Docs, Google Drive. That's kind of how I'm doing the system now.
It's crazy, dude.
Yeah, that might be a little too jumbled.
And then when you start, you have all these boards to where, you have like customer statuses. So what is the status of every single customer? Okay, this customer just signed a contract, so they're in signed contract.
Yeah.
Now I apply for the permit, so then I move them in the board to submit the permit. Then I'll move them to waiting for permit. Then I'll move them to permit issued, scheduled material.
Yeah.
Once the material is scheduled, I move them to pending start, scheduled dumps.
Yeah.
Then drying inspection. Then in progress inspection. So like the whole.
It tracks even all the inspections you're doing.
Every step of my business is in there. There's a few things outside of that I use for like my own tracking, but pretty much the whole business is in the CRM. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
Okay,
and if my system is primitive right now, I gotta.
Yeah, man. It's not even expensive.
Yeah.
And you want to get used to it now. That way, when you bring more employees in, you have all your systems down, and you could say like, look, this is how we do this.
Yeah.
This is how we do this, and then it's organized.
Yeah.
But like if you're doing something one way and then your other office girl's doing something one way, then you bring another girl in because you need help.
Yeah.
You're not all on the same page.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all my employees are in the CRM. We all use it. That's just what it is.
So I've been to your office, right? And I see all the people you have working there. What exactly does like each person do? Because you have like how many, besides salespeople and roofers, how many people do you?
Just like office employees?
Yeah, just office, yeah.
It's me, Kaysen, Lexi, Kesley, Sam.
So you got 5 people.
The rest of them are either salespeople, project managers, Eastley. But so if there's 5 of us in the office.
Yeah.
You want to know what every one of them does?
Yeah, like I'm curious, like how do you keep like 5 people busy? Because my girl can do everything, right? Maybe because we're not as busy as you, right? But what?
Yeah, I mean that's why it's just the sales are more. We're dealing with more customers.
Yeah.
Okay. Kesley answers the phones, collects the initial info off the customers, schedules the appointments, creates the estimates. So someone needs a new roof quote. She creates the estimates through the way I told you, builds the proposals in Sumo Quote, and creates the sales folders and puts the sales folders in a bin. That way when the salespeople come in for their day, they look at their calendar in the CRM, and they say, okay, I'm meeting this person, this person, this person. And she grabs the folders. They grab the folders that Kesley built.
So, but you said she takes the call, like the intake call too?
Yeah,
Okay, so she takes the intake call, she says...
And then she does estimating,
Mm-hmm.
and she does permitting. So she does those 3.
Okay.
Sam, she sets people up for financing, and she's the quarterback for the salespeople. So you mentioned follow-up earlier.
Yeah.
Every time a salesperson finishes an appointment, they call Sam.
Mm-hmm.
They give her a recap. Sam puts the notes in the CRM. That way anyone can go to the CRM and read it.
Yeah.
And then she sets the follow-up tasks, and she makes sure that everybody does her follow-up tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Sam sells to anybody that calls the office and wants a quote emailed. So if you want a quote emailed without anyone with no appointment, Sam's your salesperson. She sells right from the office.
So you won't give up on a person that just says, I just want a quote over the phone, you know? Like if they don't want to meet in person,
why would you? Why would you give up?
I know a lot of companies, they don't want to even, they're like, nah, I don't want to even, this person's not even serious, so I won't even give it a...
No, what if they're just busy? We sell roofs all the time without meeting people. Yeah, I'd say the closing percentage goes down for sure when you're just emailing a quote into the abyss. But if you follow up with that person, if you keep calling that person, you never know. If you're lazy about it, you just send a quote out and never talk to them again. Yeah, maybe you won't get it. So Sam does that. Sam knows how to do every job in the office. Mm-hmm. That's just like her job, and then she kind of manages the rest. Lexi's the full-time bookkeeper, which is a beast of a job. She schedules all the inspections and updates the customers on what's going on. Yeah. Because she's the one scheduling the inspections, so she knows where the job is at in the process. She's the one that calls the customers with like updates while the job's going on. She calls them the day before we start to confirm what time we'll be there, and that's kind of when she takes the customers. Yeah. Kaysen orders all the material and just makes sure that all the jobs have what they need as far as material. So if the guys are on a job and they're missing a piece of valley metal, they'll call Kaysen, and Kaysen will get one of the material runners to get it out there. And he orders all the material.
So he's building the cut sheets. That's a full-time job in itself.
Ordering material?
Just material?
Yes.
Dang.
100%. Dang. He's really good at it. And no, he's working constantly. Because you have to order you have to schedule all the material. So Dynamic Metals, he sends them a weekly schedule every week. We do like anywhere from 4 to 8 metal fabrications a week. So Kaysen will send the schedule, and then he's building all the cut sheets. Yeah. Like how many panels, all the drip edge, all the like.
He does the cut.
He does the roofers measure the roofs and send him the panel measurements, but he does all the trim.
Oh, okay.
And then ordering from ABC, ordering the tile, he orders all the material. Yeah, it's a full-time job. He works a lot.
So that's one thing that's gonna take me a while to trust somebody to order material, because I know sometimes I have like $20,000 tile orders, $80,000 metal orders.
Dude, and it just there's nothing in our business that you can't pass. It's all about having systems. Like I have the CRM does a lot of it. A lot of it's automated computer work. Like, okay, how do you order a tile roof?
How do I order it? Like just the tile itself?
How do you order anything? How do you do it? You sit down, what do you do?
And I just do my quantity takeoff. I see, is this roof really cut up or is it not so cut up? How much tile do I think I'll need, right? Then I'll just send it to the rep, and then they send me the quote.
And what wouldn't you trust someone else with? What part of it?
I guess this goes back to like my very first job, right? I made a mistake where I forgot that the metal order was supposed to be a color, right? Instead of like it was supposed to be one color and it was another color.
Why did you forget?
I just forgot. I guess because there's no system in place. I guess that goes, yeah. I guess you're right.
So if you had a CRM and you had in the very top of the contacts information what they signed the contract for. So the way we do it, salesperson signs a contract. They fill out a sales checklist on the house, which has like all the information that we want for the job, so that when the job comes, we know everything we need to know about it. Yeah. And then they submit the sales checklist and then the signed proposal to Sam, the sales manager. Sam goes in the CRM and goes in the customer's contact and types in all the information for the job. The underlayment we're using, the type of roof, the color, the gauge, any upgrades they chose. Are we doing hurricane straps? All that stuff is in there. So then Kaysen can look at the name in the CRM and know exactly what the job is. Yeah. It's simple.
Yeah. So no real big mistakes so far.
And then as far as measurements and stuff like that, how do you figure out how much drip edge a house is going to need?
It just goes off the U's, like you just go off the U's and regs, right?
Simple math. Yeah. The computer can do it. If you build out the system in the CRM, the computer does it. Yeah. And then there's always like notes and sheets you can create to make sure people don't mess up. But like the information you have in your head,
just need to
it's very easy to create a system so that anybody now has that knowledge that you have. Yeah. It's super simple.
I mean, I guess you're right, because like roofing is not like a rocket science or like anything that crazy to deal with, right? I just don't want to mess up on like a huge ass order, you know? But I guess that's something you slowly gotta let someone else do, right?
If you have the systems in place, there shouldn't be really too many errors. Yeah. And then when someone's starting out, you let them use the systems, and then you just proof everything before it goes out. Yeah. And that's it. Oh, hey, you missed this. You made a mistake here. Or then maybe you're proofing their thing, and you realize like, oh, my system's wrong here because it didn't account for this, and they didn't know that this needed to be this. You know. And you just that's
so
how
he's 100% by him. He or she is completely 100% by himself with the.
Yeah, I don't touch Kaysen. He's good. He may have questions every once in a while, and he'll just ask me. Yeah. has he never made a mistake? Obviously, he's made mistakes. You make mistakes.
Yeah.
I made mistakes too.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot to send value metal to the house. Whatever. That stuff happens.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake he ever made, that I remember this. You use dynamic, don't you?
Yeah.
On the cut sheets, you know where you decide the panel design, like striated, ribbon bead, pencil bead?
Yeah.
For some reason, he clicked off pencil bead, and we never used pencil bead. We always use striation. So that was just like a bonehead mistake.
Yeah.
Because that's not even something we think about. We don't even give the customers the option. It's just always striated.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, he X'd the wrong box, and they sent like a $6,000 metal order with the wrong design. So I had to trash it.
Okay. The customer wouldn't take it, or?
It was actually an addition on a new construction house, so we had to match what was there. So it wasn't an option.
Oh man. So speaking of mistakes, what's been like your most costly mistake? I'm like curious.
In my first year, we were tearing off a little house. It was like 20 square. This was when I was still roofing with the guys, so I was still roofing then. And I had to run to ABC to pick up something. I don't remember what. And I forgot that the rain tarp was in the back of my truck.
Yeah.
So I'm on my way back from ABC, and Leo, my guy, calls me. He's like, "Oh, you gotta hurry, the rain's coming. And it was a sunny day. There wasn't even rain on the radar that day, but I shouldn't have left with the rain tarp in my truck. I messed up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I'm coming. So I start speeding, and then he called me back like 10 minutes later, and he's like, dude, it's fucking pouring. And they had nothing to cover the roof with.
Yeah.
It's completely torn off. It just destroyed this whole person's house.
Yeah.
So the next day, we had to rip all the ceilings out. Beds were trash. Couches were trash. The carpet was trash. Like, we had to basically renovate this whole person's house.
Yeah.
So I filed an insurance claim. Insurance claims take time. So, like, I filed the claim, was talking to the adjuster while we were putting this person's house back together. So I'm paying for everything out of pocket to put this guy's house back together, thinking that at the end, at some point, I'm going to get reimbursed by my insurance company. That's what insurance is for.
Yeah.
I think it cost like $38,000 to do all the repairs to the house. Luckily, it was a small house.
Yeah.
And then I found out later, after it was all completely done, that the insurance company was denying my claim because I had an open roof exclusion in my policy that said if anything happens while the roof is torn off, it's not covered.
There's always some little...
And, dude, I didn't have money then either. That was early on. I had no money. Like, that really hurt me.
Yeah.
Big time.
38,000.
Yeah, and I just the whole time, I'm like, I'll get it back. I'm going to get it back. I might even get more. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
And then just gone.
Something very similar actually happened to me with actually the same situation. I had the tarp and had to leave the job site, and it was completely sunny, man. I'm telling you, not a single cloud in sight. Freaking rain comes and the roof's open, and they have nothing to cover it, man. And it's just like, and it's not a fun experience. I came back, the homeowner like called like security on me, and he had, I don't know, he was upset.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, it was not a good experience. Basically, it was very. I forgot how much it cost me, but it cost me a good amount.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I mean, you have to go through things. You're not going to be in business without shit like that happening. It's that's what happens. And now I'm like bulletproof.
Yeah.
As far as problems, and like, you know, people upset and, you know, mistakes made, I feel like I'm like bulletproof. Like nothing really shakes me too bad.
Yeah.
Because I've been through shit like that, and you get used to it, and nothing's the end of the world, and you just fix it.
Yeah.
You know, just don't be a dick about it. If you guys fucked up, we got to pay.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really get too jammed up over problems anymore.
Okay, so like, what do you think right now is the best lead generation method?
This is what I think about lead generation and people's thoughts on lead generation. Yeah. Everybody wants to know what form of advertising can they put money into that's going to make their phone ring off the hook.
That's me.
Everybody wants to know that.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's zero answer to that. There's not one thing you could just start paying for and you're like, oh my God, this is crazy, and it's going to double your business.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. Marketing is it's like a widespread effort. It's doing everything. It's doing some mailers. It's doing some Facebook ads. It's having good looking trucks. It's giving people a good experience. Yeah. It's shirts on your employees. It's like the whole thing. It's making it feel like to your area that they see you everywhere, which is what we get now. Every person I meet is like, dude, I see you guys everywhere. That's because we got nice trucks that stand out so people don't forget them. We're always setting up yard signs. Our guys are always wearing shirts. Our customers are, for the most part, happy. Nobody's perfect, and we're always in growth mode. So like some customers might get a poor experience, but we always take care of it. Like we never leave people hanging. It's all of it, and then through all your efforts, you will get leads. But there's not one thing you can say, like, I'm going to put $10,000 into this and it's going to change my business. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I would say if you're looking for one place to spend money on that's going to give you the most leads, it's Google pay-per-click.
Google pay-per-click?
Yeah.
Like doing it yourself or hiring somebody to do it?
Well, Google pay-per-click's complicated. So, like,
Yeah.
I would never do that on my own. That's, like, the one thing I won't do on my own is Google pay-per-click because it's expensive. So if you fuck it up, you know, and you want it to work. But I think that's the best one because it's the only form of advertising where it's putting you in front of people that are looking for a roof.
Mm-hmm.
They're Googling roofing something, and you're popping up.
Yeah.
Facebook ads aren't like that. Facebook ads, I'm showing it to everybody, and that's why they're cheap. TV isn't like that. They're showing you on commercials. They're showing you to everybody. So it's a ton of eyeballs, but it's not people ready to buy a roof.
Yeah.
Mailers, same thing. You're sending them to a bunch of people's houses. Most of those people don't need a roof. It's just about eyeballs and being known. Mm-hmm. But that stuff to me is better because it's cheaper and it's long term. So that 100,000 people I was talking about that see my Facebook ad, of course, most of them don't need roofs right now, but they know who I am, and I'm going to keep serving stuff to them. So long term, that pays off. It's about people knowing who you are, you know? So, like, if you need leads tomorrow, Google pay-per-click, but you're going to pay.
Yeah.
So, like, if you need leads tomorrow, they're expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're building it so that you can get more and more leads year after year after year, you can do it gradually and it won't break the bank. But if you want leads tomorrow, you're going to pay. That's just what it is.
So you say you hire somebody to do it. So how do you go about hiring people? Because, you know, I'll see marketing companies online and they're like, we'll work for you, but minimum we got to have a contract for 1 year and minimum you're going to
They don't all do contracts.
Yeah, so there's some that
they
don't,
don't
right?
all
so how
do
do you
contracts.
go about finding one that
well,
can
that
help
would be,
you out?
that's a good requirement right there. If you're trying to put me on a contract, I'm out.
Yeah.
But it's tough because I understand why they put people on contracts. Because people think like you're thinking right now.
Yeah.
Which is normal to think this way. They're like, all right, I'm going to pay this marketing company and I better get leads.
Yeah.
And then it's like 1 or 2 months and you're not getting leads and you fire them. And they just did all this work. They got you set up. They onboarded you and you leave them. So like the marketing company's like, dude, fuck this. I'm not dealing with this anymore. Like we got to put people on a contract. A 6-month contract, I wouldn't be too worried about. Like 1 year's a little long. Because in 6 months, you should see clear results.
Yeah.
Even in 1 month, you should see results. But, it might not be leads. It might be just more visits to the website, and they'll show you the Google Analytics report. And if they can show you, like, dude, here's all these visits from the website from this ad. Like, we're getting more eyeballs on you. People are staying on the website longer because they improved your website. Like, there's things that they can do that aren't leads that are, like, clear value. And then if they say, like, look, we're getting everything situated. We're getting our keyword terms on pay-per-click sorted out. We're going to get leads. We're just because it takes a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would look for no more than a 6-month contract. I would call other companies that they say they've been working with for a while and talk to them. They should be able to provide you with referrals.
Yeah.
We have to do it for roofing. They should be happy to give you referrals. And then you just have to like them and trust them and like what they're saying. You should do research yourself to figure out how to have the conversations with the marketing people. How to talk about Google pay-per-click, how to talk about Google Analytics, how to talk about Facebook ads. So that way you're educated when you're talking to them and you're interviewing them, and then you can pick someone you like.
Yeah.
But the other big thing with this one is the content. They're only as good as the content they're putting out. So if you're not giving them any content to use, they're just going to make their own.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be generic and boring.
Yeah.
You know? And then when they're bringing people to your website and the people on the website, it's just like there's no social media, there's no online presence from you. You're not strong. It's not like a strong online presence.
Yeah.
So if you want to pay someone to do online marketing for you, but you have zero online presence, it's there's
so
only...
even hiring a marketing company is not like something turnkey. You just hire this marketing company. They're gonna solve it's a bunch of different stuff that you continually need to be doing, working on, improving.
Dude, maybe you get lucky and you hire this like wizard who's early on and gives you all this attention and like really changes the game for you online. They're valuable. I have a guy. I have an outside agency that I use for certain things.
Yeah.
But he's using the content we produce. Our online presence is like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's got a lot to go with, and I know how to talk to him, and I know how to monitor if they're doing a good job. And
Yeah.
I do, like, not every week, but at minimum bi-weekly Zooms with like him and the 3 team members that are in charge of my account, and we do like an hour and a half, 2 hour Zoom about just everything. What are we trying to do? How is this? Like right now, I know the how long people stay on my website's not high enough.
Mm-hmm.
So we're focused on that. Like if we're bringing all these people to our website, why are they leaving right away?
Yeah.
And actually, my site speed's a little slow. So for some people, it may be loading too slow, and they just bounce, and that brings the average down.
Yeah.
So like, you talk with them, but you don't pay them money every month and just hope they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
And let them never update you, never send you reports, you never talk to them about how things are going. It's definitely not turnkey.
So I actually did hire a company, right?
Mm-hmm.
A marketing company. It was a month-by-month basis, and he was doing a pretty good job. But like you said, it's still like a team effort, I feel. You still got to be in constant communication, and you got to be working with each other. And I wasn't really in communication with him. I was just like, give me the leads and let me do my thing. And it ended up not really working out. So right now I'm in the process of trying to find someone new, you know?
Well, dude, you hear about branding, don't you?
Yeah.
You should be more focused on branding than leads. I know the business needs leads.
Yeah.
But branding is what's going to bring you leads for years to come. And it's
Yeah.
going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You can't just pay for more and more leads and grow.
Yeah.
That's it. I guess you could,
Yeah.
but it would be expensive.
Branding. So like, what type of brand do you think I need to like get an animal mascot, like your company, like Fox Haven? Like what? How would I build more branding? Or do you think what I have now is pretty? Have you
Okay.
seen my website or no?
Uh-uh.
Okay, so do you think just a generic like roofing logo is good enough?
When I say
or-
branding, I'm talking about brand recognition in my area.
Yeah.
So like people knowing who we are,
Yeah.
being famous in my area.
Yeah.
That when I say branding, that's what I mean. So all of my branding efforts are my shirts look like my trucks, look like my sales folders, look like my business cards, look like my proposals. Everything looks like my Instagram account. Everything looks the same colors, the same font, the same logo, and we're everywhere with all that same stuff. That
Yeah.
way when anyone sees it, it registers. So to me, that's branding. Even my social media content, that's all branding efforts.
Yeah.
Like I'm posting videos on social media that let you know who we are, what we're about, and I'm putting it in front of you every single day.
Yeah.
That's like a branding effort. That's an effort for my area to know who I am.
Yeah.
You have none of that going on right now.
No.
So how would anyone in your target market, your desired target market, Palm Beach Gardens, know who M&M Roofing is?
So that would have to be a goal of mine. I'd have to start trying to be famous, like you said, in a little radius area, you know?
Yeah, because right now they don't know who you are.
No, they don't, you know? Besides whatever customers I've left happy, they don't really... But
Right,
even
right.
that's not a lot of people. You have to reach out to a lot of people to really find someone that actually needs a roof, you know?
It's rare that I meet someone in my area, whether I'm out to dinner or wherever I'm at. It's rare that I meet someone new, and they ask me what I do. I tell them I'm a roofer. They say, oh, cool, what company? I tell them my company. It's rare for that person to say, like, oh, I never heard of you.
Really.
It's rare. They usually say, like, oh, I see you guys everywhere. That's yours? That's usually the response.
Yeah.
So, like, but dude, that started happening this year,
Yeah.
you know? So in my 5th year, that started happening, but I've always been focused on the way things look. So like even when I wasn't making a lot of money, I was paying for $3,000 truck wrap.
Yeah.
I was paying for nice work shirts for the employees. Dude, it's like $12,000 every time I got to buy shirts for the crews.
12 grand?
Yeah, you know.
I'm at 1,000 and I feel like that's kind of expensive, but you're saying 12,000 and you're
Every
just
time
happy,
I
you're just happy to buy
re-up,
it.
I'm not happy. No one's happy to spend $12,000. I just have to do it.
Yeah.
I have to do it. The yard
Yeah.
signs, like always have a yard sign. The wrapped equipter, the wrapped trailers, like everything that goes to one of my houses is wrapped.
Yeah.
You know, so we have these little enclosed trailers that we put all the drying material in, and we drop them off at the house the day before. So there's a trailer, there's a yard sign. So now everyone in that neighborhood walks by and sees it.
Yeah.
And then maybe they're going to the grocery store later and they see another one of my trucks on the way to the grocery store.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's just like that. That's how you get leads long term.
So what's your area where are you where are you famous basically?
I would say like Jensen Beach, Stewart, Port St. Lucie. But like people say they see us in Jupiter all the time because we're there. But I don't have that same like impact there as I do here.
Yeah.
So like Port St. Lucie, Stewart, Jensen Beach, like all this up here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So basically, so then how do you go about hiring that marketing company? Do you find someone local, or are you just looking all over the internet? How, like, do you actually give them an interview? What do you really do?
We actually did that guy's roof.
Oh, you did his roof.
Yeah, he has an
okay.
office in Jupiter. We did his roof, and he told me what he did, and I liked him, and I could tell he's a really smart guy, and he's been doing it like 30 years.
Yeah.
And I went to his office. He's got a lot of people there. The guys that he has working on my account, very nerdy.
Yeah.
Like, just really smart dudes. So, like,
Yeah.
when they start talking about, like, deep diving into all, like, the analytics and all that stuff, I'm like, oh, these guys are smart as fuck. They do this every day. They love it.
Yeah.
That was big for me, dude, because it's all about analytics. Like, how many views did this get? Where is this sending people? How you know, like, it's data.
Yeah.
So they were really smart, and I liked what they were saying. And they do these bi-weekly Zooms with me.
Yeah.
You know, and where I can ask questions and they can answer them, and they're bringing new ideas. You know, they're about it.
And so to find like a quality, so they're like a really quality company, right?
I would say so.
So like to find like a good quality company like that, besides your marketing spend, like how much should you expect to have to pay a month? Would you think?
Outside of what they pay on advertising?
Yeah, outside of what you
like
pay
their
to
ad
Google,
spend?
Yeah, outside of Google, whatever they put into Facebook.
I don't know. I don't think about it that way. I just think about what I give them as a whole.
Okay.
I'm giving them $8,000 a month, but I'm sure they would be effective with $4,000.
Eight grand?
Yeah. Okay. But that's management and ad spend because I run my own Facebook ads, so none of that is there. Mm-hmm. That's they do streaming television commercials. So anyone who has a smart TV or anyone who uses streaming services, we're serving them TV commercials.
So they got TV commercials.
But most people have smart TVs, so.
Yeah.
So like I have a smart TV here. So anytime I'm on a smart TV, they can serve it up as a TV commercial. But they can also target just like you target people online. So when you target people online, you can target them for like people that have an American Express Platinum card, people that are into golf.
You can target that
online
credit card.
Yeah. So you can get very specific with your targeting online, but you can do the same for people that are watching TV on their streaming because it's set up with their email.
Yeah.
You know, so like you can get specific with the targeting. But they do that, and then they do digital display ads, and now we're looking at pay-per-click. I don't do pay-per-click right now. You're
moving into.
We're looking at it, yeah.
Man, I wish I lived in this area because I've never seen your ads, but you're saying you run a lot of them.
You live in Broward. Why would I serve ads to Broward?
No, yeah, you're right, man. You're right.
If you see my ads, it's a problem.
Yeah.
I'm just wasting my money. We don't want to go down there, you know?
Definitely not, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty good, man. So do you think you're going to be with them in the long term? Are you going to increase your ad spend? What do you think? What are your plans for like 2024 with it?
I don't know. I hope to be with them long term because I don't ever want to bring Google pay-per-click in-house. Like any of that stuff. I don't want to bring it in-house. Obviously, I can't bring TV commercials in-house. That's never. Mm-hmm. But yeah, switching marketing companies sucks.
Yeah.
You know, I've had 3 in my career. The first 2, I didn't feel like we're doing a great job and I fired them. I feel like most marketing agencies don't do a good job. But I feel like most business owners want to just pay someone money and not have to think about marketing and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And it's not effective.
So you've hired, you said 3 or 4?
3.
So how do you know, is there any signs of which ones will be good and which ones will be bad, or like how do you know?
Well, what are you asking the marketing company to do?
Well, I guess for me it's to bring me more leads, but you're saying it's there's more than just that. It's to bring you more attention, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, you want to pay for leads.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that's
a bad strategy.
100%.
Okay, that kind of blows my mind, but so continue, sorry.
Yeah, you want to pay for leads. We all pay for leads. That's not how you do it. Mm-hmm. You want people to call you. You want inbound leads. Inbound.
Inbound leads.
Yeah, you want people calling your office. Of course, you're always going to pay for advertising, but I would be more interested in paying for the things that are going to work long term. Yeah. Which is wrap trucks, happy employees, amazing customer experiences. Dude, I know for sure, and I'm not trying to make fun of you or anything.
Yeah.
I know your customer experience isn't that great.
Yeah. It's definitely not on your level. It's definitely not there.
Well, I know because of the way my customer experience is with you. I'm a customer of yours.
Yeah.
I'm a contractor, so it's easier to deal with me because I'm a contractor.
Yeah.
But if you're treating homeowners like you're treating me, I know. I know you're not getting as many referrals as you should, and referrals are the best lead source you'll ever have.
Yeah.
They're free, they're easier to close, and you can get more money off them.
That's definitely
for the job.
True. That's definitely any referral I've ever had is the easiest,
So if every referral lead you've ever got was the best leads you've ever got, you closed the most of them, you made the most money, and they were the easiest to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't you focus on getting more referrals?
You're absolutely right, man. Yeah. So what type of system for referrals you have besides just customer experience?
That's the number one, is the customer experience.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to refer you if the customer experience wasn't amazing. So that's number one. You can't just skip over that.
Yeah.
That's number one. The referral programs, we have some, but I don't even really think that's what gives us the referrals. Like, we're really just starting to implement them and like advertise that we have referral programs. I've never even really had a solid referral program. That just shows you that if you do an amazing job for the customer, you're gonna get referrals.
Yeah,
you're gonna get referrals.
So you do a roof for Sally. She's so happy with you. She tells you right then and there about her neighbor or something.
Yeah, I mean, they may come 4 months later. They may come 6 months later. They may come 3 years later.
Yeah.
But if you're giving someone just okay customer experiences, they're not referring you to their friends in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wowed them, it could be 10 years from now, and they'll still remember you, and they'll still refer you.
Yeah.
I have some people that have referred me to 10 different customers over the course of like the 2 years after we've done their job. One person, 10 referrals, because they were so happy with us and they love us so much that we're just always, anytime they say they need a roof, they bring us up because people like helping people.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. Like, if I know, say someone asked me, like, hey, I need a video editing person.
Yeah.
I would be happy. I'm like, oh, dude, use my girl. She's great.
Yeah.
Everybody's like that. But if the experience is mediocre, you're missing referrals.
Yeah.
So doesn't that make sense, dude?
No, I think it absolutely.
You're ready to stroke a check for $10,000 to try to get more leads.
Yeah.
When you could just focus on your existing business, on how to make your customer experience way better, and you'll get free leads because you're treating your customers better.
Yeah. I think, like, overall what you're saying, it's a bunch of basic fundamentals, right? There's nothing secret or anything. It's just a basic. You have to have signs. You have to have wraps. You have to. A lot of these stuff I feel is like very basic, but a lot of people don't do it.
There's
right?
no secrets, dude.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of different small little things that you're doing together and trying to improve on it every single day. Would you say that?
There's no secret, dude.
Yeah.
There's no secret. Most people like know the things to do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the strong branding, which we already went over. Then you've got employee culture, which that one's super important. You haven't really had to worry about that yet because it's just you and the girl.
Yeah.
But once you start adding more and more pieces, the employee culture is super important. I take my employees being happy more serious than my customers.
Really?
Yeah, so I prioritize my employees being happy over my customers. They're the ones showing up to work every day. If they're happy, they like what we're doing, and we're all on the same mission together, inevitably the customers are going to get good experience.
Yeah.
Because you've got happy employees dealing with the customer. But if you've got employees that don't really like where they work, they're looking for other jobs, what kind of customer experience are they going to give the customer? Obviously,
I guess I'm doing good there because I have a lot of people that have been with me for like fairly long time.
The roofers and your girl, you mean?
Yeah.
Right. So when you start to add material runners, supervisors, salespeople, like all that, all that ties into the employee culture. Like we all have fun together. Everyone likes to work there. That's important for trying to grow.
Yeah.
So branding, employee culture, customer experience. I would say those are the three most important things to grow the business.
Yeah.
You're treating your customers great, so they're happy. Your employees love working there. And you have a strong brand, and you're becoming more and more known in your area year after year after year.
Yeah.
If you do those three things, you'll keep going.
I definitely noticed that about your company. Every time I walk in there, it's like I'm walking in on a family, basically. You guys are just like all like best friends, kind of, right?
We're not best friends.
But you guys basically seem like you like all working there together.
Yeah, we don't hang out outside of work, though. We're not like best friends.
Well, you seem like it.
I hang out with Matt.
Yeah.
Because he's a childhood friend. But other than that, like, we're not all hanging out. But, like, at the Christmas party this year, we're all going to have a blast.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, like, we did an event downtown. We sponsored an event. We all went to dinner afterwards.
Yeah.
We're not, like, literally best friends.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Your company
seems
looks
like
so
that.
nice that it almost seems like,
Well, we all like where we work. We have fun. We laugh. Like, there's times where nobody's really talking and everyone's working hard, and then there's other times where we're all in the same room dying laughing.
You're not just making videos all day. I seen all the videos you guys make.
People see the videos online and they all think that, like, oh, they don't work. They just sit there and make videos all day. It does not take that long to make videos. We made 4 videos yesterday. It took Matt made 2 and I made 2. It took Matt probably 7 minutes. It took me 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But people see like one video a day and they're like, all they do is sit there and make videos all day. It doesn't take that much time at all.
Yeah.
You know, this what we're doing now is the biggest time commitment as far as the videos. None of the business stuff you've seen prior.
Yeah.
So but we're
just knock them out really quick.
One take wonder, baby. What is it about? What is it about? I'm not always one take. Yeah. Yesterday I was one take. Yesterday I made 2 videos in about 1 minute and 40 seconds yesterday. That's one way to get an advantage on the market. Make content. Nobody does it.
Yeah.
Nobody up here is doing it.
Why do you think that? You think everyone's just shy to get in front of a camera or what? Because it seems like kind of simple, right? You just kind of get one of these cameras, you put them on, and you just start talking to it, right?
Well, I'm thinking because I've been wanting to make videos for the business for a long time, and I didn't. I just started recently, probably like 4 months ago. It was hard to make time for it. When you're the one filming it, and you're the one editing it, and you're the one posting it, it's kind of hard if you're like a busy guy and you're working all the time. It's hard to make it a habit, like build that new habit. Some guys do it all themselves, though. Mm-hmm. But like when I hired her, it became easy. Yeah. Now the only time it takes me is the time it takes to film the video. Mm-hmm. And then maybe some time at night to think of ideas, but that's not time. Yeah. So I hired somebody because I thought it was that important to put consistent videos out that it was worth paying someone. Yeah. You know, I feel like most guys don't think it's that important, so they wouldn't be willing to pay somebody. It's
because it's just very long term, right? It's not like something that's gonna make you $1 million tomorrow. Right?
Everything I've ever done is long term. I don't think about leads tomorrow. Yeah. You know how excited I am to have 100,000 people watching that Facebook ad, and I know that I could target them for 3 more years with just the videos, that same people. And now for 100,000 people in my market, I'm guaranteeing they know who I am. I'm guaranteeing it.
You think they'll remember that in 3 years, the roofing company commercial they saw like 3 years ago?
That 100,000 people, I'm going to continue to serve them videos constantly. Yeah. I'm going to show up on these people's feed till the end of time. Yeah. So there's no way they're not going to know who we are. Oh, okay. You know? Yeah. But that's 100,000 people. That's a lot of people. No, that's how many of that 100,000 are going to need roofs in the next 5 years?
I don't know.
What is it?
A good amount, like maybe 1,000 at least.
10% right? Maybe?
Yeah, 10%.
So that's 10,000, I would say. Maybe less. 5%, 5,000. How many roofs?
It might be less than that. I feel like it's very rare that someone needs a roof.
But over the next 5 years?
You're right.
Over the next 5 years? What if we get a hurricane?
Yeah.
But even if we don't get a hurricane, it's whatever. Even if it was 2%, that's 2,000 people out of that 100,000. Yeah. Need a roof in the next 5 years. How many roofs do you do a year?
I honestly don't know. I haven't counted. But it's probably like between 50 and 100.
Okay. Yeah. That's 2,000 in the next 5 years.
How many have you done in this year? Like,
we do like one a day. So like 250.
Okay, so then that's a lot of.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
That's what I'm saying. And it's going to cost me what? Like $250, $300 every 3 weeks to do that?
Yo, that's crazy. That's actually really crazy.
But nothing I've ever done is short term. I don't do pay per lead. I don't have salespeople that are outside of my organization that are like, hey, I could bring you jobs. Like, can I bring you jobs? Mm-hmm. I don't want you to bring me jobs. Your jobs won't fall into my system. You'll have this whole outside system that I don't have control of. Mm-hmm. My salespeople sell jobs. They go to my office. They get put in the system. Everything runs smooth. And that's how it is. So, like, if you called me and said, I'm a salesperson, I'm going to sell my own jobs, can I bring you jobs? Yeah. Not a good idea. But most people would be like, yeah, of course. Yeah, bring us jobs. Yeah. I don't want them.
I saw that ad of yours, right? Like, putting something like that together, like how much effort and like cost does that even cost?
Which ad?
The one that got 100,000.
Which one?
Was that the Christmas one? Was that the Christmas one?
No, it's the what is a roof one.
Oh, okay.
You know that cute little video I'm asking everybody to describe in one sentence what a roof is?
Oh, okay. I've seen that one.
It's that one.
Oh, it's that one.
Uh-huh. What does that cost to put together?
Yeah, I'm saying because like that doesn't seem like it takes a lot of effort and time. It seems like something you could knock out really fast.
It doesn't. Like that one video, took her 30 minutes to edit it. It took us about 10 minutes to film it. Yeah. 40 minutes.
40 minutes. That's like nothing, man. That's like nothing.
40 minutes, and then as far as like a percentage of her weekly workload because of what I pay her a week, it was probably 3% of what she did in a week.
Yeah. Yeah, so what's your conversions like on Facebook?
Minimal. And that's because why?
Why?
Why is it minimal?
Oh, because it's hitting people who don't need that roof yet,
Exactly.
right? Yeah,
But I don't mind because
Yeah.
those people eventually are going to need a roof, and now
Yeah.
they know who we are. So that we are not selling jobs day after day from Facebook. 100% not. And then even the money I'm putting in behind Facebook ads, there's no call to action on the Facebook ads. I'm not
Yeah.
selling anything. I'm putting out cute little videos that people are going to like watching that don't try to sell them anything. The only thing you can click is visit our profile.
Yeah.
So I'm putting money behind Facebook ads I'm not even trying to get jobs out of. That's how long term I am.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get my business in front of as many people as possible because eventually they're going to need roofs.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I was thinking about your ads, and I was like, man, that really is smart, because if you go on TV, that's what all the big companies do, right? Like Coca-Cola isn't going to put out an ad with the intention of getting a lead from it, right?
No, they're not selling shit.
They're giving brand awareness so you remember who
Put
they
a bunch
are.
of fucking girls on rollerblades like with cool music with a Coke can.
Yeah.
It's not about it's not about selling anything. Like, hey, buy a roof. Click the link below to buy a roof. They don't need a roof.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But they're going to see you 3 times from now until when they do, and then they'll just like, oh, yeah, maybe I should call that one guy, right?
Because now they know who I am because they see every single day. That's why TV commercials work.
Yeah.
Like, people sit down with their families at night, they turn the TV on, they see the same brands every night. Everybody knows who they are.
Yeah, yeah.
Why would you treat roofing marketing any different? You would treat it different if you needed leads tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if you like did all the groundwork, all your previous work the past couple of years, all the referrals that are coming in from doing a great job are going to feed you and keep you okay, and then you can invest in the long-term stuff.
Yeah.
But if you're hurting, you don't have leads, you're struggling, you need leads to keep going, you're going to have to pay for leads right now. That's what it is.
So it's all about doing all the small stuff good, right? And thinking long term as for like creating a really big business. That's what it really takes.
I told you the 3 things. What were they? See if you remember.
So they were your customers, right? Customer experience, your employees experience, and then branding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those are the 3 things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never thought about those being like the 3 key things. I just thought of it on the spot when you were asking me, but I think that's it. That's how you grow a business in the most simplistic terms ever. If you get all those 3 things right, you'll grow the business.
So with all that being said, what are your like plans for 2024? What are your goals?
My goals for 2024 to double. We've doubled every year since I started, and it's getting like big now too. So like the doubling seems harder and harder and harder.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm doing all the things to be able to double next year, and then even my volume at the end of this year is almost at the point where if we could just hold the volume we've done like last month, we will hit a double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think you're going to do it just doing residential homes, or are you looking to get in like commercial where it's one job but one bigger price tag where you can focus?
We do commercial. Like, we've done commercial jobs, but they're not like a regular part of my business. Like the previous month I'm talking about, where if I can do that pretty much every month next year, I will double. Nothing but houses. Houses every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you think it will be just as simple now to do like double the amount of residential homes? Because that's a lot of houses, man.
But this is the thing. So, like, I've been growing ever since I started.
Yeah.
So if you look at my January, February, March of this year, I'm doing way more September, October, November than I was this year. So I grew through the year. My sales are way higher. Like, I was hitting around 700 in those first couple months of the year.
Yeah.
And now we're doing 1.1, 1.2, 1.1. So, like, we grew a lot through the year. So then, like, I just have to hold that and then grow a little more, and I'm there. So it's not that daunting. Like, I kind of increased the volume this year. So it's not like I have to double from what I'm doing now. I just have to continue this and maybe go do a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And I'm already at the double in sales for next year. So it's not that daunting. I don't even feel like I need that many more team members, which is nice, because that's the thing. If you have exponential growth, you'll start to realize that when you're in like a big growth phase, you're not making that much money. Like, of course you're making some money. You're growing. But if you're committed to like spending the money on more employees and buying more trucks and, you know, maybe upping your ad spend and like upping all the things, you're not going to keep as much.
Yeah.
So like, you could essentially be a little greedier, not be too worried about growing, hold on to more money yourself, and kind of just like keep it the way it is and focus on keeping as much money as possible. And you would be a good business guy. but you wouldn't be growing the business. You can't grow the business without investing in the business.
So you're still right now in growth.
I've been in growth mode since I started.
Yeah, and you're going to continue like that.
We've never not been. So that's like when I'm early on and I don't even have that much money and I'm spending all this money on like expensive, nice sales folders and truck wraps and like all this stuff. I was just committed to growth, not keeping a bunch of money.
And that was just like 2-3 years ago, right?
What was 2?
That you were still like kind of a smaller company, still looking for ways to grow. So what I'm saying is that anyone watching is like 2-3 years away from having like a very big company like yours.
Yeah, for sure. Like 2 years ago I did 2.2 million. Then last year I did 5.5.
How many years ago did you do 2.2?
2 years ago.
Okay, so someone is like 2 years away. If they really work hard, really think long term, do everything you say, they're 2 years away from having like a $10 million a year.
I would say, but I started off right too. So like not if you're in your second year and you haven't done all the things right.
Yeah.
It might take a little longer because you got to backtrack.
Yeah.
So like I started with a really strong foundation and then built on that. Meaning like, mainly my customer experience, dude. That's the number one. That's the number one thing.
Customer experience is everything.
Well, it's the 3 things are important. But dude, the fucking if your customers aren't super happy, it's just gonna be hard.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Your leads are gonna be expensive. You're not getting referrals. Like if you're paying for leads, those leads are fucking competitive.
They are.
Meaning the amount of money you can get and still stay competitive because there's a lot of cheap roofers out there. Mm-hmm. It's hard. It's hard to close those jobs, and maybe you got to come down on your price to be competitive, and then you're not making as much money. Whereas if you're on a positive referral, they might not even get another price. Yeah. You go there and they sign. Yeah.
So your pricing, is that why you can just price whatever you want, or?
I don't change my pricing for a referral versus just from like an ad, say.
Yeah.
I don't change my pricing, but we're high.
Yeah.
We're high. Yeah. But we're not high for the referral leads because the price is the price and they want to use us. But we're high for the random people that just found us and they're getting 7 quotes. We're high. Yeah. We're high.
So like right now with the company you have all the wraps, all the signs, all the video content, all the ads. If someone were to get like 5 quotes, where are you going to be on that? Are you going to be like the highest one on there, or are you still?
We're not always the highest, but we're like probably one or two. There's a lot of roofers charging a lot of different numbers though, so it kind of depends on the individual situation. But on average, we're going to be 1 or 2 out of 5 for sure. But a lot of roofers are broke, man.
Yeah.
Like my suppliers tell me, 50% of roofers have a hard time paying.
They do.
Yeah, 50%.
Thankfully, I'm not at that point, but.
Right. Yeah, I think that they haven't built their company to the point where customers like what they see, know they're going to do a good job, and are willing to pay more. Yeah. They just look like everybody else. Yeah. So they have to get jobs by lowering their price. It's like a race to the bottom.
So you're number 1 and 2. What is your close rate?
20.
20?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
I think it's low compared to what I hear a lot of other people like say what theirs is. Mm-hmm. People may lie, or people may close 50, 60%. Some people may. I know what we need to do a job though, and I'm not going to just be out here not making any money, not being able to grow the business because we're doing jobs too cheap. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy we get enough leads so we're the 20% close percentage. It works. Yeah. We keep the schedule filled. It's fine.
And that being said about your team, you have that whole team. What is your daily routine like now that you're in the position you're at? Like what's your daily routine?
Dude, nobody's ever asked me about my daily routine. It always changes, but right now, I get to the office somewhere in between like 5:30 and 6:30, depending on the day. Mm-hmm. I usually am in QuickBooks first thing in the morning.
Checking the numbers first thing in the morning.
Yeah, usually because it's quiet in the office and I can think. So that's when I'll look at I'll track my expenses. I'll look at my overhead month to month, see how my expenses are doing. That's when I'll look at the P&L reports that my bookkeeper gives me. Yeah. I'll deposit checks. That's when I'll track my equity. So I call it equity. I don't even know if that's the right way to call it. That's what I call it. I track a lot of things. I have an Excel sheet that I fill out usually every 2 or 3 days. I fill this sheet out. So it's just from QuickBooks. I go through QuickBooks. I do some calculations in my calculator and then I put it in this Excel sheet just so I can track. I track what's in my bank accounts plus what I'm owed minus what I owe on credit cards minus what I owe suppliers minus what I owe sales commission. And that number is the true number of where your business is at. So that's what I track. I don't the number in the bank account means nothing. Yeah. It's how much are you owed? How much do you owe out? So I do that calculation every morning because then that's the true number of where the business is at. Yeah. So, and then I look at whatever that number is, how many months of overhead is that number? So if that number is more than 5 months of overhead, I know that I can pull money out of the business and like maybe invest it elsewhere. Because that's what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
Is having 5 months of overhead in the bank.
Yeah.
Because if you have 5 months overhead in the bank, you're never going to go down to 0 jobs. Like that's just unrealistic. You're never going to go to 0. But even if you were to go to 0 for some reason, you cover your overhead for 5 months, you're pretty safe.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how I can decide if like I can take money out of the business, put it in the stock market, and buy something, invest. That's how I do it.
Okay, so from 5:30 to 6:30, you're looking on the numbers. All the information you have on like reading books and stuff, that just comes from YouTube too, right?
All the information I have from reading books. What do you mean?
Like you like to knowing the numbers of your company.
That one I can credit my dad a little bit for that. My dad has a roofing company in Philly, so when I started, he kind of taught me how to use QuickBooks.
Yeah.
But I definitely learned a lot about accounting and tracking numbers from YouTube too. Like what numbers I should be looking at, and then just like experience. You know, so some of it, my dad, some YouTube, some just learned by experience. Numbers are important though, dude.
Yeah.
Like what's your gross profit total?
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Like from what span to what span? Like for the year?
No, I want to know percentage.
Percentage.
Like what's your gross profit percentage?
It's usually between 10 and 20%.
No.
But I don't think about it for the whole year. I think about it per job though.
Okay, but gross is before overhead.
Yeah.
So on your P&L, top line is sales.
Yeah.
Then after all your costs of goods sold, so job materials, paying the guys for the work, dumpsters, permits, all that, then you come to your gross profit.
Yeah.
So that is what?
Oh, so I usually, for that, I try to get to 25%.
25%.
Yeah, the 25%.
Okay, and then you have all your overhead expenses, your rent, your office employee, your insurances, all that stuff. And then you have your total expense number and then your net profit. Yeah. So you try to get 25% on every job. Yeah. Gross.
Yes.
What do you actually do?
I might lower it down to like 20, but I don't like going below 20. 20 is like the lowest.
Yeah, but I want to know what you did this year. Gross profit.
I honestly don't know.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. What percentage is your overhead out of sales?
So I don't know the number, but I'm assuming I don't have like an office like yours or this and that. So I'm assuming it's 10%, right? And that assumption has worked for me so far, but as I continue to grow, I realize that.
What are you basing the 10% guess off of?
Because I don't really have like a bunch of like.
But you're just guessing. You've never sat there and figured it out.
Well, yeah, but if you're doing $80,000 roofs, you're doing multiple $80,000 roofs, and you take 10% of that $8,000, right? Of like multiple $80,000 roofs, you're doing $100,000 roofs. I don't have an office, right? Mm-hmm. I do have trucks, trailer, and an assistant, and general liability, but none of that can easily be covered from that.
Do you have QuickBooks?
I don't have QuickBooks. No.
Still not.
No, still not. That's something I definitely am going to get into, and I'm going to watch a bunch of YouTube videos. I'm going to be calling you a bunch more, but I know that's definitely something we need to improve on.
Yeah, because when I asked you what your gross profit are, you went, I don't know, somewhere between 10 and 20%.
Yeah.
That's a huge range, though, dude. You know how big of a range that is? 10 to 20%?
I don't know.
I think about my numbers in like 8.2%.
Shit.
Because the bigger it gets, that 0.5% is actually a substantial amount of money.
Yeah.
But 10 to 20% is like, that's insane.
Yeah.
You know? You need QuickBooks.
I need QuickBooks.
You need QuickBooks. That's a joke, dude.
Yeah. And so from 5:30 to 6:30, you're looking at the books.
Oh, that was 1 hour of my day. All that back and forth was 1 hour of my day. All right. Yeah. No, not from 5:30 to 6:30. I said I get to the office between 5:30 and 6:30. I don't get to the office at the exact same time every day.
Okay.
I'm in the numbers. I usually start getting calls from like roofers, and guys start coming to the shop and like job stuff, like where are we going, what's this, what's that, around like 6:50, 7 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So we make sure the jobs are good. We make sure all that stuff's good to go.
And you're still part of that process.
Not really, but like the guys are doing it, and I'm usually talking with the guys, just bullshitting in the morning. But like I'm not really needed. Like I could stay here and the jobs would still happen. I might get phone calls and stuff, but like no, I'm not really needed. I don't have jobs. I don't have to load trucks. I don't have to send anybody off. The office girls come in around 8:30, and I usually talk with them. Good morning. We have conversations. We bullshit a little bit. Then I'm usually just in my office, focused on marketing, looking at the Facebook ads, looking at Google Analytics. Then we might make a video. then dude, I don't really like. Just look at whatever's needed. I don't have a daily routine. I feel like I do something different every day. No one's ever asked me that. I don't feel like I have any jobs. Nothing is my job.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Everyone, you've already assigned. You have someone doing everything.
I'm trying to think of some tasks that like I have to do.
I mean, I guess you basically said it. You're looking more for the long term of the company and client acquisition, right?
There's got to be some tasks that I still do. I still put the checks in my little deposit machine under my desk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the checks will get put on my desk and I deposit them into the bank with the machine. Yeah. Trying to think of what else.
That sounds like it's your favorite part.
I still sign all the checks. Not my favorite part.
Oh yeah.
You know, yeah.
Is there like a lot of checks to sign or what?
Dude. Yeah, crazy. Like on Fridays?
Yeah.
It's like a stack like this I have to sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just make sure everyone's doing their job. And people always have questions for me. So, like, I have to answer questions all day. Andy, what do I do with this? Andy, what do I do with Andy? Well, then my phone rings. Can you help me with this? So, like, but I don't really have any tasks. The marketing is mine. So, like, running the Facebook ads, like, planning out what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. So, I market. I make sure we're making money. So, like, my bookkeeper puts reports on my desk. I go over the receivables, who owes us money. And I make little notes on like what we need to do for each customer to get our money. So I basically make sure everyone's doing their job. I make sure everybody's happy. I answer everybody's questions. I market, and I make sure we're making money. Did I say I make sure we're making money twice?
Yeah.
It's important.
So that's the most important part. It's important. You still run sales every now and then?
Rarely. There was a period where I was still like kind of trying to do one here and there, and I realized like, dude, I'm not good at it anymore. Like I have too much other things to do. I'm not following up with people. I'm late on giving them proposals.
Yeah.
So like I just like I'm too distracted to be a good salesperson. So like now I rarely do. I'll fire some off from the office like a proposal if I like know the person. Oh, and create the systems. That's a job. That's a job. So like, and that's one of the most important jobs as a business owner, I would say. Say we're failing a bunch of inspections, which just happened recently. Yeah. We're just failing inspections for bullshit. Like we forgot to leave a ladder somewhere. Something was wrong here. We weren't actually done the job, but the final was scheduled. So like, I realized that we're broken. Our inspection system is broke because we're failing inspections left and right. That's what I did. I sat down on the computer and I thought about my project managers, my office that's scheduling them, and like how they communicate and what our system is for inspections. And I typed out a new system. Like, okay, when you schedule the inspection, you set a task in the CRM for the project manager assigned to that job and the sales rep, so the sales rep knows what's going on. You put in the description when the inspection is, what needs to be there, what needs to happen. Do you need to call the inspector first? Do we need to meet him? Or is it just need a ladder there? And then, like, this person reports back to you. So, like, create the system for the inspection so that we stop failing inspections. Yeah. So, like, the system's creating. That's another part of my job I didn't think about.
That's a big part. That's a
huge part. That's how you give jobs to other people as systems. If you have no systems, it's always gonna be frustrating. Yeah. You know?
I guess the last question, I was kind of curious. I saw you did like a little like vacation giveaway. Did that actually like help you in any way? Like that one on Instagram?
Eyeballs.
Eyeballs, okay.
Yeah, so that's dude, that just shows you where my focus is. I'm giving away vacations for eyeballs. Just a lot of people saw that post, people were sharing it, people were commenting on our stuff, like it was exciting for people. Yeah. And now all those people that were a part of that know who we are.
How much outreach?
I don't remember specifically, a lot. And we got to send someone on a nice vacation. And it ended up being someone we knew too, so that was cool. And we just did another one and someone we knew won again, and we didn't announce that one yet. We did a downtown, we sponsored like a Christmas on Main Street in downtown Stewart. Dude, stuff like that's great too. Yeah. Like I get down there, we put the tent has our logo on it. We're right in the center of downtown Main Street. It was packed. Everyone's having a good time. We're out talking to people. Yeah. They're walking by our signs. People are coming up to the tent. We see you guys everywhere. You did a roof in my neighborhood. You did this, you did that. And like you're out in the community. Yeah. So like sponsoring things is great, you know? But if you have a strong brand and then you sponsor things, people see you talk to people, you meet people. It's about being in the community. If you want to get into homeowner stuff. Yeah. You know? Just get out. It's like, that's what I'm saying. We mentioned all the things I do to get leads. It's not one thing. It's just like the whole package.
Bunch of different stuff every day, trying to get better, trying to get eyeballs on you, trying to be famous.
Trying to be famous in our area. Yeah.
The more people that know you is the more potential clients. And it's really simple when you break it down like that, but
it's a lot of work, dude. Yeah. It's a lot of just, it's a lot of little things, which is everyday consistency.
That's Andy Keys. If you don't use my company, use his company. I still think Eminem, we still maybe the best.
I love that you're closing my podcast right now. Honestly, I feel like it's appropriate. He asked me all the fucking questions. I didn't even ask any questions. But dude, that's why this podcast, I feel like, that's why I wanted to interview business owners of all sizes.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't want to just only interview people that are absolutely like crushing it, super successful.
Yeah.
I wanted to interview people of all sizes because, like, in this situation, I'm a little further along than you.
Yeah.
So you're learning off of me, and if you're learning off of me, then other people will learn off of me right now.
Yeah.
But then I'll have guys that are ahead of me, and then I'll be asking them the questions because I want to know about them. So it's good.
You have any like future like big guests, or are you still kind of working on that?
I've got a couple. My next one is a guy like you. You're actually further along than him.
Okay.
But then after Christmas, like people farther along than me. And then episode 1, Wally's my buddy, but his business, well, I hope he sees this. We started around the same time. We were buddies. Did you watch that or no?
I haven't had a chance to watch it.
You should watch it.
Yet.
It's good.
I'll watch it.
We were buddies. We met in an AA meeting, and he was roofing with us. Then we left, and we started businesses at the same time. And every year, we were like pretty similar in sales. And we would call each other and like compete. Like, like I'd be at my computer at QuickBooks. I'd call him, I'd be like, "Hey, I'm here. Where you at?"
Yeah.
And we would like go back and forth. But this year, I fucking smoked him. He's gonna do $5 million this year, which is like around what he did last year.
Yeah.
He did say that he made a lot more this year, which that's important too. Like what you keep.
Yeah.
You can do $100 million in sales and not make any money, and that sucks. It might sound good, but you didn't make any money. So what you keep is important. So like he did say that. He's like, we made way more than we did last year off like just a little higher sales. Yeah. But I doubled again. So we were neck and neck every year, and then I doubled again, and he kind of stayed. So I fucking.
What type of business does he have?
Scrap metal.
Scrap metal. Where like here?
Fort Pierce, but dude, he's into some cool shit. Like that, there's $1 billion scrap metal businesses. Like it's a big industry. The ceiling for him is way higher than roofing. There's no $1 billion roofing companies. You know.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Did he talk about his business on the podcast or?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give it a watch.
We talked about the come up more, and then he had a drug pass. He's been in prison, so we talked about that. But no, it was good. But that's what I'm saying. I want to interview business owners at all sizes because everybody's in a different spot, but everybody watching is at a different spot.
Yeah.
You know? So for you, what I was going to ask you about pretty much the whole time, which we started on it, was going from subcontractor to like household name, homeowner, residential contractor. There's a lot of things you haven't done that you'll have to do if you want to make the switch. Yeah. And look, we touched on that in the beginning, and then like we talked about everything I've done to become that kind of contractor because I kind of always had been that kind of contractor. So there's probably a lot of subcontractors that would want to watch us like, yeah, man, I'm subbing off all these roofers right now. They're a pain in the ass. I'm not making that much money. They're running my schedule. Like I want to make the jump. Mm-hmm. They watch this and they see where you're at and they see what they'd have to do.
Yeah.
You know? All right. That's episode 3. We'll catch you on the next one.
Yep.